A very good morning, my dear students of class 7. In today's video, we'll be doing the fourth and the concluding part of chapter 2, that is Kingdom Classification 2. And in this video, we are going to cover the topics: classification of vertebrates, class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves, and class Mammalia. So these are the 5 classes of vertebrates. Now let us do the recap in short. What we did in the previous weeks: we studied about the classification of invertebrates. We also call them non-chordates. And here we have got these phylums. Protozoa, we studied this one, which are the unicellular microscopic animals. Then porifera, animals with the porous body, holes are there in their body. Then Coelenterata, animals with hollow tube-like body. Platyhelminthes, animals without legs, the worms. Nemathelminthes, animals with unsegmented cylindrical body. Annelida, animals with segmented body. And then we studied about Arthropoda. All the animals having jointed legs are called Arthropoda. This is further subdivided in Arachnida, Insecta, Myriapoda, and Crustacea. So there were 4 subgroups. Then we studied about Mollusca, the snails, soft-bodied shelled animal. And then Echinodermata, animals with spiny exoskeleton, just like your starfish and all. So this we did in the previous classes. Today what we are going to do is, this I showed you previously about the vertebrates or the chordates. They are the animals with backbones. They have got distinct backbone in their bodies, and they are divided into these classes, which we are going to study today. In the starting only, in the first video only, we discussed about it. There are 5 groups, we can say there are 5 classes: Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. Pisces, these are the fishes, cold-blooded and streamlined bodies covered with scales, and they have gills, which we'll be learning in this video. Amphibia, the frogs, toads, etc. They are also cold-blooded animals with moist, slippery skin. Reptilia, these are the snakes, crocodiles, etc. Cold-blooded animals with dry, scaly skin, and they breathe through lungs. And Aves, these are all kinds of birds. They are warm-blooded animals. Their body is covered with feathers. And the last one is Mammalia, which includes the humans, you and me. We are warm-blooded, and animals give birth to babies. They don't produce eggs, rather they give babies and also produce milk. So now let us learn about all this. First, classification of vertebrates or the chordates. The group of chordates involves animals with a distinct backbone. That means all the animals having backbone are called chordates or vertebrates. The backbone is made up of several small bones called vertebrae that joins to form vertebral column. You can feel it. You have got the backbone at the back. This is not a single bone. It is made up of small bones. In humans we have got 33 small bones. We call them vertebrae, and together it makes the vertebral column, or in common terms what we call the backbone. These animals have a well-developed nervous system with brain that controls all their body functions. So we have got a very well developed nervous system and a brain through which everything is done in our body. All the activities are controlled by the brain and the nervous system. We have got the closed circulatory system with blood flowing in the blood vessels to different organs of the body. So vertebrates, they have got well developed nervous system and they have got the well developed circulatory system as well. About 55,000 species of this group are known today, and every day we are discovering new varieties, new species, but till now we have got 55,000 species known to vertebrates, known to us. This is divided into the following classes. So these are the following classes: mammals, birds, which we also called aves, fishes or Pisces, amphibians, and the reptiles. So these are all the animals having backbone, the chordates or the vertebrates. Now let us start with the first one, and that is Pisces. We can also call these are fishes. This word Pisces is taken from a Latin word which means fish. Now the general characteristics of this group, this class: these animals are aquatic and oviparous. Aquatic means they live in water. Oviparous means they lay eggs. They have a smooth, streamlined body. What is the meaning of streamlined? Streamlined means at both the ends they are narrow. That is, narrow at the front and the rear. Here you can see, if you see a fish, both the ends you will see they are narrow. Okay, and because of this shape, the streamlined shape, they can easily swim in water. This body shape offers least resistance to their movement in water. That means without any trouble, without any problem, they can move in water. You must have studied about friction and resistance in physics. So here, because of this shape, the streamlined shape, it is very easy for them to swim in water. The scaly body gives them protection. You must have seen when you go to buy fish, they have got scales all over their body. Now they have got the fins, sides and top they have got, and the back also they have got the fins, which helps them in maintaining balance and also give direction when they move, and also helps in movement. These animals have a specialized organ for breathing called gills. So both the sides, here you can see the presence of gills through which they respire. The oxygen which is dissolved in water goes inside, and then that oxygen is consumed by the body. These are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded means their body temperature doesn't change. Their body temperature changes with the temperature of surrounding. So if outside it is cold, their temperature will be less. Some examples let us discuss are shark. This is very dangerous fish, shark. Then this is also a dangerous fish called electric ray. You are very well familiar with this rohu, which you can get in the market. The biological name for rohu is Labio rohita. Then katla is there. This is the one. And the last one, seahorse. It looks different, but this is also a fish. Though the name is seahorse, but this is also a kind of fish, comes under Pisces group. Next one we have is amphibia. Class amphibia. This word amphibia is taken from a Greek word amphi, which means of both kinds, and bios is life. Both kinds means what? These animals can live in water as well as on land. That means they are terrestrial also and aquatic also, and that is why they are called amphibia. These are also cold-blooded animals. That means their body temperature changes with the surrounding. They don't have scales. Their body is smooth. They have got smooth and slippery skin, and through this skin only they respire. when they are in water, but when they are on the land, they respire through the lungs. So both the way they can respire, through the lungs and cutaneous respiration, that means through the moist skin. They are oviparous animals, that means they lay eggs. They reproduce by laying eggs in water. Their skin is smooth without scales. Some example of this group are, you have seen this. This is a tree frog. So frog, very common example. It can live in water as well as on land. Toad, newt, and salamander. So these are the members of class Amphibia. Now the third one, class Reptilia. This is the group of all kinds of snakes which crawl or creep. Reptilia word is taken from a Latin word reptilis, which means to creep or to crawl. They are cold-blooded animals. That means their body temperature changes with the surrounding. Most of these animals occur in terrestrial habitats. That means they are found on the land. Their body is dry and has scales over it. You must have seen on the body of snake, scales are there which helps them to move on the land. These scales help them to move. Reptiles creep on the ground. Their body is divided into neck, trunk, and tail. Some reptiles may have two pairs of legs. You must have seen lizard and all. Some may have two pairs of legs and a tail also, as in lizard and salamander. And some do not have limbs at all, such as in snakes. You will not find the limbs. Reptiles breathe through their lungs. Just like the previous ones, these are also oviparous. That means they reproduce by laying eggs. But one difference is there. Their eggs have leathery shells, not the hard shells, but leathery shells, the soft shells. Members of this group include snake. So look at this snake. You must have seen many snakes in your locality also. Tortoise, lizard, crocodile, and alligator. Crocodile and alligator, they look same, but there are differences. Now let us come to the fourth one, that is class Aves. That means the birds. Aves is a bird taken from Latin, which means birds. All of us, we have seen birds. Some of us, we have got birds in our homes also, like parrot and lovebirds, etc. The members of this group are commonly known as birds. They are flying animals. That means they can fly. Unlike others, they are warm-blooded animal. That means their body temperature remain constant regardless of the change in the temperature of their surrounding. Outside, whatever temperature is there, but their body will be warm. The body of Aves is divided into head, neck, and tail. And one of the characteristic feature is there that the full body is covered with feathers. You must have seen they have got wings also, so that they can fly. They have got the four limbs as wings. So four limbs are modified into wings, while hind limbs are used for perching. When they sit on a branch, so they hold the branch. So this is used for perching, so that they will not fall. These hind limbs are also used for swimming, as in duck. They swim in water. And for walking. Some are flightless birds. They cannot fly, so they walk. Others also, they walk when they are on the ground. Each foot has 4 toes. The birds have very light skeleton as their bones have large air cavities. And since their bones and their skeletons are light, so it helps them to fly high in the sky. If the body is the bones or the skeleton is heavy, then they cannot fly. They do not have teeth, but they have a horny beak. These are also oviparous, that means they reproduce by laying eggs, and their egg shells are hard. Now let us discuss about some of the members of this class. Aves, and that is pigeon, very common example here. Every time you must have seen them near your house on the roads. Then kiwi, penguins, which are found in the polar regions, and kingfisher, a very beautiful bird. Ostrich, you must have seen in the movies on the Discovery or National Geographic channels. They can run very fast. And dodo, this is also a very special bird which is extinct. Nowadays we don't see dodos. They were there once upon a time, but now they have become extinct. Now we have come to the last class, and that is Mammalia, which includes all of us. The word Mammalia is taken from a Latin word, mammalis, that means of the breast. Breast is the organ of the body of mammals through which mammals feed their young ones with milk. So this is the most important character of Mammalia. These are warm-blooded animals. That means their body temperature remains constant. They have hair all over their skin. They have specialized set of teeth. Most of the mammals have external ear. External ear, the ear which we have got on our face, that is external ear. We have got the nose, teeth. They breathe through a pair of lungs. Now till now we were talking about oviparous animals. Now Mammalia group is the group of animals which are viviparous. That means they give birth to young ones. They don't lay eggs. So they reproduce by giving birth to young ones. They are the only animals that produce milk to nourish their babies. So babies are dependent on their parents' mother, and the mother feeds them with the milk. Thus also called milk producing animals. So Mammalia are also called milk producing animal. Human beings belong to this class, Mammalia. Now let us discuss about some of the members of this class. First of all, it is the humans, kangaroo, bear, elephant. Platypus will be discussing later on. Giraffe. Okay, so these are all the members of class Mammalia. They feed their young ones with their milk. They give birth to young ones. Okay, as I've told you that I'll be teaching you about duck-billed platypus. This is a very unique mammal. It's the only mammal that lay eggs, unlike other mammals that give birth to young babies. So just now we studied about the mammals, and their characteristic is to give birth to young babies. But unlike that, it lay eggs. It differs from all other mammals by the fact that it lay eggs covered by a shell that hatch outside the mother's body. The female platypus then incubates the egg for about 10 days. So it's not like other mammals because it lay eggs. But other characteristic that the mammals feed their young ones with their milk, that is there. It releases milk through the pores of the skin to feed the newly hatched young ones, and that is why we call it a mammal. So this is a very strange and unique organism, that is duck-billed platypus. It is an exception. So here you can see in the pictures, first two pictures are of platypus. Here you can see the platypus with its eggs, and here you can see the baby platypus sucking the milk. So this was all about the chordates, or the vertebrates, animals having the backbone. We have come to the end of this video as well as end of this chapter. So let's stay home and let's stay safe. Have a great day ahead.